1997. Like I said, I'm not sure. I don't have high hopes for this year, but I mean, look a pretty good list in the top 10 grossing. So Jaws was the first movie to break 100 million, and then 22 years later, we broke a billion. And just like Jaws left 100 million pretty far behind, so did Titanic. It got close to 2 billion. That would have been insane if we had never had a movie break 1 billion before. And then the first one to do it goes to 2. That would have been absolutely nuts. All right. Oh, is this the beginning of Jackie Chan's like really standing out in the world of cinema? Oh, is this Chris Farley's last movie? That doesn't get it a must see, but I think it might be. Now this is the quasi sequel to um, uh, Fish Called Wanda. Same cast and also written by John Cleese, but a different director because I believe the original director died, and I haven't seen it, but it's known to be not as good. Susan Roxanne. It's one of those that you just remember the trailers. It's about a dog who's friends with a dolphin. I think Zeus is the dog. Absolutely not. And unfortunately, we all have to watch it. Ugh. January though, I remember those coming out in the summer. Dante's Peak. That darn cat. Nope. Vegas Vacation. Really, Vacation when it came out? I don't remember seeing any trailers for that. Empire Strikes Back special edition. Still no. Oh man, that means what was it, January? My sister, around the time that the Star Wars special edition came out, my sister had her first asthma attack. Oh, my brain does weird association things, but oh, it's because we were supposed to see it, and then she had an asthma attack. We had to take her to the hospital. Asteroid. Oh, this one was on TV. I remember this one. It, it was one of those typical 90s, what you call it, mini series where it was like Saturday. They would show you the first half on Saturday and the second half on Sunday. And this one actually was interesting because the first half ends with the asteroid hitting Earth, and so the second half was about the fallout. Rosewood, Donnie Brasco. I don't think that's considered a must see. Jungle. Mm-mm. Whew, boy, 97. Not doing great. I think we shrunk ourselves. All right, liar. Finally, yeah, that one's considered a must see. Okay, Cats Don't Dance is an absolute must see. It is like Swan Princess. It is one of the great not Disney animated films. It is so good and so fun and so funny, and the animation is so entertaining and bright and colorful, and everyone needs to see Cats Don't Dance. It is a wonderful movie. It's a little difficult to find right now. Oh, no, actually, I take that back. It's available digitally. It's not very rarely just straight streaming available, though. But, oh gosh, it is fantastic. The Saint, yeah, that one's considered must see. Anaconda is not. Gross Point Blank is one of my favorite action comedy, dark comedies. It's so fun and so quotable, and I think it might be John Cusack's best performance. He is so good in it. And Minnie Driver, I love Minnie Driver. Minnie Driver's great. Always want more Minnie Driver. It's kind of interesting what happened with her career. It just kind of dried up. Yeah, this was the year of that one, Volcano and Dante's Peak. I think we saw. Wait, was I Dante's Peak last year? I don't know. I didn't add it, so. All right, Austin Powers 1 is considered a must see. Warriors of Virtue. That one, I remember the trailers. I kind of want to see it just to be like, how bad was this? Fifth Element. All right, so that one is one of those just weird, holy cow, what is this movies? But like, you don't regret watching it. I would say it's a must see. It's definitely one that you should experience. I've never even heard of this one. The Odyssey. It's not the yeah. I actually really enjoyed this one. It was a TV miniseries as well, but I have fond memories of it. Scared me though. The Cyclops in particular. Lost World Jurassic Park. Rare miss by Spielberg. Con Air is considered a must see. I've never seen it, but people love it. Ulee's Gold. They use it for the vowels. Batman and Robin. That's one you should experience, but I cannot, in good conscience, call it a must-see movie. My best friend's wedding is considered a must-see. The last time I committed suicide. What? That's not a comedy. Oh, Face Off. Yeah, I would say Face Off is considered a must-see movie. Hercules. I love it, but no, it's not a must-see. Sadly. Men in Black, however, is. Wild America, that one's fun, but no. Alright, Contact is a movie very few people saw, but it is a must see. It is a great movie. I love it. It is so good. That's really all I can say about it. It's just so good. George of the Jungle, no. I love it. Kids love it, but no. Air Force One. Oh man. So my dad is an air traffic controller and knows a good bit about airplanes and their communications and stuff. And he mocks this movie relentlessly. He refers to it as Air Force One. I don't know if he came up with that or if that's just what all air traffic controllers and pilots called it. But holy cow, he has this movie has a special place of anger in his heart, and it's really fun to watch it with him. Earbud. That was a weird movie. It is not as advertised. The dog does not play basketball until the last 15 minutes of the movie. It's one of those rare movies where most of the clips came from the end. Alright, Pooh's Grand Adventure is a must-see. I don't care what other people think. It is one of the best Winnie the Pooh movies. Everyone should see it. It's wonderful. Conspiracy Theory. Again, this was, man, poor Richard Donner. He was great until Maverick was probably the last really good. Well, I like Lethal Weapon 4, but that was Maverick was probably the last great movie that he made. And it's a shame because he did die recently. I was one of the only people that said this, but when Disney bought Star Wars and they were supposedly looking for a director, I actually thought Richard Donner should have directed it. I think he would have been great. Because he's shown himself capable of doing literally every genre. I don't think there is a genre of movie that Richard Donner has not done. And he's done all of them well. And G.I. Jane came out that late. It's not considered a must-see. And yeah, I thought Richard Donner would be an interesting and creative choice to direct the next Star Wars movie. But, they made their choice, and that's where we're at now. Hmm. Oh, that actually, Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars actually got a theatrical release. Interesting. So the Brave Little Toaster saga is interesting because there was a movie, Brave Little Toaster, and then they came out with Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars, and Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue came out like a year or two later. And I want to know the story behind that because canonically, Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue takes place between the two. And I don't know what happened there. LA Confidential, that one's considered a must-see. edge, depending on who you. There are some people that absolutely love that movie and consider it a must see, but I just thought it was okay. The Ice Storm. That was Tobey Maguire's first big thing, I think. Boogie Nights. I don't think Boogie Nights is considered a must see. I know it's considered to be good, and critics love Paul Thomas Anderson, but not that one. Some years into that. Best Men. Never heard of that one. Is that Dean Cain, Andy Dick, Sean Patrick Flannery, Luke Wilson, Drew Barrymore, Fred Ward, Brad Dourif? What is this movie? I Know What You Did Last Summer. Yeah, I think that one's considered a must-see for various reasons. Gattaca. I have to put Gattaca. One, it is actually a must-see, but it is one of my good friend's absolute favorite movies ever. So I would be remiss if I did not include that. He might hurt me if I didn't. Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. No. Good gosh, no. Ugh. Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella is just, I mean, not even this version. It's just a bad musical, and I hate it. Also, I mean, there's a meme going around that was just praising this movie. This was several years ago, and it said, how good was this version of Cinderella? Because a white king married a let's see, who would that be? Victor Garber. A white king married a black queen, and they had an Asian son, and that was the prince. And but said a white king married a black queen, and they had an Asian son, and no one noticed. And I was like, oh, I noticed. It drove me. I was 9, and it drove me nuts. I was just like, this makes no sense. What is happening? Who is in charge of casting? Wow, I just blurted out 9. I forgot I was in 97, but I actually was 9. Go me. Angels in the End Zone. Yeah, I saw it. Man, can you even get a hold of that movie anymore? The Jackal. Ah, I knew that cover. I don't remember Bruce Willis. I mean, his name was on there, but I don't remember that being part of it. The Man Who Knew Too Little. Yes, everyone should see The Man Who Knew Too Little. It is hilarious. One of the forgotten and brilliant Bill Murray movies. Oliver Twist. That was a pretty good one. Okay, we finally come to a Don Bluth movie again that I consider to be a must-see. Anastasia is wonderful. It is so good. Everyone should see Anastasia. The Rainmaker, apparently, for those that watch Legal Eagle, this is believed to be one of the greatest legal dramas ever made. It's considered to be the most accurate one ever made. Like, he had no complaints about this movie at all. Hey, Claire Danes. I never watched that one. I didn't know she was in that. Because as I said, I love Claire Danes. Alien Resurrection, no. Good gosh, no. Flubber is fun, but no, sorry. Good Will Hunting, however, is a definite must-see. I would go so far as to say it's one of the great movies ever. Mouse Hunt. Yes, Mouse Hunt is a must-see movie. It's great. You just have to see it. It's so funny and so entertaining, and everyone is having a blast making it. You can just tell. Everyone should see Mouse Hunt. Came out the same day as Titanic and Tomorrow Never Dies. Titanic, I have actually never seen it, and I'm okay with that. My wife says I need to just for cultural enlightenment, but I don't want to. But I will admit it's a must-see movie that I will not see. Okay, Amistad. That is a movie that almost no one knows about. But look at this. Steven Spielberg, Morgan Freeman, Anthony Hopkins, Jimon Hansu, Matthew McConaughey, a pretty young Matthew McConaughey, Stellan Skarsgård, Anna Paquin, Chiwetel Ejiofor. I don't know how well I said either of their names, but this movie is wonderful, and it is a shame that no one knows about it. My mom, I was homeschooled, and we were reading about John Quincy Adams. Just we were that period of American history, and this story got like this tiny little blurb that he argued this case in front of the Supreme Court, and man, I can't go. I don't want to go into too much detail, but she found out there was a movie about it. And she watched it and said, "Go," and just told us we had to see this movie. And I was probably 11 or 12, maybe 13 when I saw it. But it is wonderful. It is so good, and no one knows about it, and everyone should. It's one of Spielberg's best movies, I think, but no one has seen it. Watch Amistad. Jackie Brown is probably Quentin Tarantino's least popular movie. That was quite the change from my gushing on Amistad. But yeah, Jackie Brown's one of those that you see as a completionist, but no one really talks about it ever. I believe there's something about its opening credits that people are like, yeah, that's really good, but no. All right, end of 1997. So, I mean, compared to where we were back in like the 60s, the 50s and the 60s and the 30s and the 40s. I mean, there's a lot of must-see movies, but well, it's higher, might be higher than I expected. Let's see if we beat 96. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Nope, it did not. So y'all can't see what I'm doing, so I just put ones every time there's a must see, like a check mark almost, and then I just count them at the end. So that's why I do not know until I get to the end what we're at. So 1997 was 20, which is more than 94, and 91 and 90. But it's it's the middle of the pack for the 90s so far, I think. So yeah, so that's 97. Let's move on to 98.